Turning now to another big developing story. Tension is building in Ukraine ahead of tomorrow's vote deciding the fate of Crimea. Russian and Ukrainian officials are saying at least 3 people have been killed and many more wounded in violence between pro-Russian and pro-Ukrainian activists in 2 cities in the east. Now, tomorrow, the Black Sea Peninsula of Crimea will be voting on whether to secede from Ukraine and become annexed by Russia. Joining us now, someone who knows firsthand about the Russian threat better than most, Georgia's former president, Mikhail Saakashvili. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's very nice to have you here because I know you have raised so many concerns about what lies ahead for the people of Ukraine, and I know you are consulting with people in Ukraine about the concerns about Russia's involvement. What are your thoughts at this moment? Many people are predicting that people will be voting in Crimea to secede.
I think it's not only about Crimea anymore. I think Russia is preparing for some kind of military onslaught on Ukraine overall. And the problem here is that, you know, it's very much déjà vu. It looks like a very well prepared, premeditated operation that will result into large-scale military involvement, engagement of Ukrainian forces, at least at this stage it looks, unless something dramatic happens for the world to stop it. And actually, when you look at these provocations that people coming in from Russia do in eastern Ukraine, that very much reminds me of what was happening in Georgia. We had in Georgia 2008 invasion of Russia. But after that, we had lots of things connected with organizing provocations, street clashes, violence, and basically Russia was all the time looking pretext to come in, even including the terrorist attacks, very well documented terrorist attacks done by Russian special forces and Russian intelligence services in my territory. So it very much reminds me of what's happening in Ukraine or what was happening in Georgia, and looks like, because today Russian foreign minister said that they will respond to demands of Russian speakers in Ukraine for help. It's very much the same scenario how bigger countries usually invaded weaker countries in the past, except that Ukraine is a 46 million country, it's the largest country in Europe, and in the eyes of the whole Europe and the world, the largest country in Europe is being sliced up. It's absolutely unprecedented situation, maybe since the end of Second World War. And certainly there is lots of things at stake here for the world, for the United States, for the whole region. And don't believe those who tell you why should Americans care. It concerns the core of the U.S. national interest.
Mr. President, I would like you to stand by for just a moment. I'd like to bring you back on the other side of this break. We have to take a break for a moment, and we will continue our conversation. And after the